Jaylen Brown quietly entered a stretch that should honestly scare everyone. And nobody warned the league this was coming. Not the media, not the voters, not even the people watching Boston every night. No hype tour, just pressure every single night. And now the numbers are too loud to ignore. Because when the Eastern Conference Player of the Month award came out, Jaylen Brown wasn't on it. And instantly, people started asking the same question. How? Not emotionally, logically, stat by stat, game by game. There were analysts saying it openly. Nobody was better than Jaylen Brown in the East this past month. And that wasn't some Celtics fan talking. That was backed by production, efficiency, and winning. Brown himself didn't dodge it either. He said it straight. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander didn't have a better month. Jalen Brunson didn't have a better month. And instead of sounding arrogant, it sounded factual. Because if you compare them side by side, the gap shows up fast. Brown had more points, more rebounds, and more stocks than Brunson. He shot the ball more efficiently, and he led his team to a higher winning percentage. That's offense, defense, and results combined. And that was just the beginning. Over his last 19 games, Jaylen Brown has been playing at a level most players only touch for a week. He's averaging 32.2 points per game, 7.1 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. Not empty stats, not inflated usage, real impact. He's shooting 50.7% from the field and 37.5% from three while carrying a primary scoring load. That's elite efficiency with elite volume. That combination usually belongs to MVP candidates. And yet, the scariest part is how calm it looks. There's no rushing, no forcing, no visible strain. Brown looks like he knows exactly what the defense is about to do before they do it. Then came the game that shifted the conversation. Boston on the road, Los Angeles, Clippers crowd, pressure environment. And Jaylen Brown puts up 50 points like it's a statement. Not at home, not in a friendly building. On the road, he went 16 for 26 from the field, 6 for 10 from three, added 6 assists, and controlled the game from start to finish. And somewhere in the middle of it, something rare happened. MVP chance in another team's arena. That doesn't happen by accident. That happens when dominance is undeniable. And December was something Boston hasn't seen before. Jaylen Brown averaged 31.7 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, and 5.4 assists for the entire month. Almost 32 points a night, sustained, not spiked. That number matters, because it became a Celtics franchise record for December scoring. He didn't just have a good month, he passed months from Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Jason Tatum, and John Havlicek, players whose names are carved into the franchise. And he almost entered an even rarer category. Brown nearly became only the second Celtic ever to average 32 points, 52% shooting, and 40% from three across a full month. The only Celtic who's ever done that? Jason Tatum. That's historic territory. But this stretch wasn't just about explosions. It was about reliability. For 14 straight games, Jaylen Brown either scored 30 or more points or recorded a double-double. No gaps, no off nights, no disappearing acts. And now, zoom out even further. Jaylen Brown has multiple 50-point games. That puts him in a group of just 3 Celtics in franchise history. Larry Bird, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. That's it. And the way he's scoring makes it even harder to guard. The mid-range fadeaway? Automatic. The floater in the lane? Soft touch. The paint drives? Violent control. Defenders can't sit back because his mid-range shot this season has been described as shockingly effective. Step up, and he blows by. Help late, and it's a bucket. And then there's the three-point shooting. Brown has increased his three-point volume. He's taking them confidently, early in the clock, off movement, off the dribble. No hesitation. This is full buy-in to Missoula ball. Fast decisions, aggressive spacing, punish mistakes immediately. And when he talks, it explains everything. Jaylen Brown said, "I feel like I'm the best two-way player in the game. I'm trying to help my team get wins." That's not a quote chasing validation. That's a quote from someone who knows his value. He also mentioned there's a tough schedule ahead, and he wants to keep the momentum going. Not slow down, not protect stats. Keep pushing. Now think about his career arc. Jaylen Brown entered the league with doubts that never really fit. Scouts questioned whether he was too smart for the NBA. People wondered if Brown and Tatum could ever work together. Team USA passed on him. They chose Derek White and Drew Holiday instead. Even LeBron James had to say it publicly. Jaylen Brown is underappreciated. And even after a championship, that still feels true because context matters right now more than ever. Jason Tatum is rehabbing an Achilles injury, and when that happened, Jaylen Brown didn't hesitate. He stepped directly into the 1A role, took responsibility, took pressure, took control, and he did it while Boston lost key pillars. From the 2024 championship team, the Celtics no longer have Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, or Al Horford. That's defense, spacing, leadership, and experience all gone. Yet Boston is still the third seed in the Eastern Conference, 3 games behind Detroit, half a game behind New York, and the East wide open. There is no dominant force, no clear favorite, and that's what makes this stretch dangerous. Jaylen Brown already has a championship. He already has Finals MVP. He already delivered when it mattered most. He's not chasing firsts anymore. He's building legacy. Brown has said Boston still has championship DNA, and right now, they might be the only proven team in the East. Everyone else is projected. Boston has already done it, and Jaylen Brown isn't asking to be noticed anymore. He's not waiting for approval. He's not explaining himself. He's not chasing awards. He's forcing recognition. This stretch doesn't feel like a random peak. It feels like a player who finally aligned opportunity, confidence, and control. A player who understands the game deeper now. A player who knows exactly who he is. And when that happens, it usually doesn't end quickly. It usually means the next version is even better. And that's the part that should terrify the league. This version of Jaylen Brown isn't emotional. He's not playing angry. He's not reacting to disrespect. He looks settled. And that's dangerous because calm confidence lasts longer than motivation. Watch how he reads defenses now. He doesn't rush into contact. He waits for angles. He lets help defenders commit first. Every move feels intentional. That's not athletic dominance anymore. That's mastery. This is also the version of Brown that understands timing, when to attack, when to defer, when to close. Late in games, he's not hunting highlights. He's hunting mismatches. And when he finds them, he ends possessions fast. That's growth. Because earlier in his career, Brown's game was about bursts, explosions, energy. Now it's about control, pace, pressure. He dictates the tone instead of responding to it. And that matters in the playoffs, especially in an Eastern Conference that doesn't have a clear alpha. No team is unbeatable. No star is untouchable. Which means players who can sustain pressure over long series decide everything. Jaylen Brown looks built for that. He's already shown he can handle the biggest stage. Finals MVP didn't happen by luck. It happened because when the moment arrived, he didn't shrink. And now, with more responsibility, more freedom, and more trust, his ceiling feels higher than it ever has. This doesn't feel like a player peaking early. It feels like a player entering his prime with unfinished business. So, if this stretch continues, the conversation will change, not slowly, suddenly. Awards will catch up, narratives will flip, and the same people who overlooked him will act surprised. They shouldn't be, because this version of Jaylen Brown isn't asking where he belongs in the league anymore. He's showing it. And if you're watching closely, this stretch isn't the end of the story. It's the setup for a season that could redefine how he's remembered. So keep your eyes on this. Because when players reach this level of control, the league usually feels it next. And if you're still here watching this till the end, you already know what time it is. Subscribe, not because you have to, but because if you care about real basketball stories, you don't want to miss what's coming up next.